Coming up on this episode of The Village Idiom.
It's always a car. The clowns always come out of a car.
That's all you need.
No, but I'm just like, why is it like not a clown van or a clown?
Because it's got to be the smaller the better. So it could be a canoe, maybe.
A clown canoe.
Dum dum da da, Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every week we choose a popular saying and take an admittedly shallow, hopefully comedic, and once in a while interesting, and if we're really lucky, educational dive into its meaning, its usage, its origins. But we're also going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is Jurassic Mark.
And I'm Skinny. Great job. You nailed that one.
Yeah, no stutters.
No.
I think I got over my stuttering problem from last week.
That was great. Whatever was happening, like too much caffeine or something in your diet or...
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you know how you like drink coffee like crazy. Everybody knows it. It's a real common thing about you.
I think I might have had like a weird form.
Aspartame reaction.
No, I think I had the hiccups. Is why I was stuttering.
Oh,
yeah. Do you know how you cure the hiccups?
Scare the living daylights out of me.
You scare the living daylights out of me.
That was such a fantastic segue. It dawned on me as you had this look on your face, like you set up some beautiful thing. It was cracking me up.
Don't worry about this.
Yeah, that's okay.
This is professional.
People ignored that. Whatever you're seeing on the video, that's not a giant hand coming at you.
No,
it's good.
And that's today's idiom.
Are you scaring the living daylights?
Well, it's actually blanking the living daylights.
Yes, you can beat the living daylights out of somebody.
Yeah.
You can scare the living daylights. You can knock the living daylights out of them.
Well, I saw one quote I almost used, which was, do you want to worry the living daylights out of us? So, blank the living daylights out of me.
I have. I'll take a hard pass on that one. Well, you must have a friend. I know.
I have one.
We have a mutual friend who enjoys the scary movies.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, did he move away?
He did move away.
Yeah,
he moved away. The Dr. Dave enjoyed a scary movie, and he would beg. He would like, come with me to the scary movie. I'm like, no, they actually give me nightmares. I have really low threshold for terror. I was watching it was a news clip that went by on the scrolling through on my phone. You. Well, I've got a couple of those that really got to me, but this last week I just actually had one where it was the difference like between crocodiles and alligators. Well, Of course, that night I'm dreaming that I'm being attacked by a crocodile, and I just wake up in this panic. My heart is pounding, and it just takes that little. I saw the ad for It, the movie It,
yeah,
and it was just the ad. 3 days. It terrified me for 3 days.
I think I've only gone to one scary movie with you. And it was accidental.
It was probably Dave's idea.
No, he wasn't even there.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. That was accidental.
It was accidental because there used to be this movie theater
Four Feathers or something?
No idea. I couldn't tell you.
I remember.
But
I remember it.
There used to be this theater that had these later than late movie showing times.
Yes, but super
cheap.
Sometimes
starting at 1 a.m.
But it was like $2.
It was like $2, and so we were all young marrieds, young family men, and it's like that's the only you could still spend time with your families. Wives have.
I remember Jaylene said to us, "Remember, you guys are Christian men."
And then we went to the movie.
Then we went to the movie. We're like, whatever. And then partway through the movie,
early on,
the actor is addressing this kid who's just like playing with blocks.
Was Kevin Bacon in that?
I think so. And he's like, hey, whatever. And then like the boy's head spins around. It's like, don't talk to the boy. You will talk to me.
Out of the mouth of the boy.
Yeah. And we're like, and then one by one. It was like, okay, I'm out of here.
The second, we were already kind of like,
this movie's questionable.
Stop talking to the boy.
You stood straight up and full voice, I'm out of here. And then we all just left. Actually, we didn't just leave the theater, though. We walked across the hall.
No, it was during the showing
and saw Phantom.
Yes, we saw Star
Menace
Wars
for the second time, or third time, or fourth time,
which was way better than I just enjoy sleep, and so that exactly that stuff just so etches in my mind. And scary movies are like a no-no.
It scares the living daylights out of you.
Yes.
So obviously, I think everybody knows the usage of this idiom, but it just means you are that scared. You are extremely frightened or extremely beaten, and
I had another little take on it that there's a light within you. There is and to have that light either extinguished or snuffed
Dimmed.
out or dimmed, is so I'm going to knock the daylights out of you.
Right.
Is that you're going to black out, or
Right.
like something in that vein anyway.
Right.
There's a daylight in you, and it can be beaten out, it
Yeah.
can be kicked out.
Yeah.
So that
So if you had, we're going to dig into that.
Scared out.
We're going to dig into that a little bit in the origins, but have you, other than movies, has there ever been that scared the living daylights out of me?
the ones that get me is when people aren't trying. So like if like my kids are like classic, like show up behind a door like and that stuff, I can just walk right through. That stuff doesn't get me. But when someone's just like around the corner minding their own business, and I just come in and it just hits you right. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
That scares me. You're more likely to scare me not trying to scare me. Yeah. How about you?
So there's the jump scare, and then there's the resonate with you scare. Then there's the I've misplaced my child kind of scare.
Oh, that's
like those kinds of things. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there was. I used to have do you remember Mike Warnke?
Is this a comedian?
Yeah, Christian comedian.
His name totally
from like the
vague,
80s.
Vague.
And he's
Continue.
just this like oddball, weird looking guy. And anyway, I somehow ended up owning a life-size cardboard cutout of him in a straitjacket. And I would place
Why
that.
would such a thing even exist? It's very niche.
That was the cover of one of his comedy albums.
It's such a niche item.
Yeah, I know. I owned it. Wish I still had it. And I would use that.
It is so niche.
So I would. We had this one bathroom. I was still living at home with my parents and sisters. Had this one bathroom where the bathtub / shower had these sliding doors, but they weren't glass. They were like, I guess they were translucent, but you couldn't see through them. And so typically they were always left shut. But if you were sitting on the toilet, you were facing one of the panels of that shower. And I would just leave it open like 6 inches, but have Mike Warnke in the bathtub. So like my mom or my sisters would just be, just in that seated position, and you look up.
And Mike Warnke's watching
you.
you.
Just you're screaming in the bathroom. And, but
guy in a straight jacket staring at you.
There was a couple of times where me just walking into my own room, forgetting
that you had your own poster.
Forgetting that I had this cardboard life-size Mike Warnke. I would just be like, oh my goodness, I just got myself. I should also say that today's idiom was a recommendation. Somebody wrote in.
Family friend,
out of province family. So this is a shout out to the Lehman boys.
Awesome.
For giving us the suggestion to do blanking the living daylights.
Awesome.
They said scare, and it started because he was just like you said, scared by his own children that day, and he's like, "Oh, you guys scared the living daylights out of me," and they just pestered him like, "What are you talking? What is the living daylights? Define that."
Do you ever have it when you're sleeping in your bed and you wake up and like you have one leg sticking out, and then you're like, "Oh crap, I got to pull that leg in."
Totally. Oh yeah, I can't.
It's like somewhere along the line I got too warm and my leg got out to cool myself down, and then you wake up and you're like,
no, that can't.
Oh, now I'm vulnerable.
Yeah, but isn't that weird?
It's so ridiculous.
You're so protected under that.
Yeah,
1 centimeter thick comforter.
Exactly. Crocodiles can't get through that. Yeah, they can't go into a death tumble when there's if you've got that 2 legs under.
Yeah,
because then they can get the blanket caught in their teeth, and it's a situation.
Yeah,
and they know it. You just got to pull that leg in, and then you're safe.
Exactly,
makes so much sense.
How about have you ever had the daylights beaten out of you?
No,
me neither. I've never been knocked out or anything like that.
Passed out in a hot tub, but that's about
but
it.
Not because somebody pummeled you.
No, the heat pummeled me. The heat got me.
The heat beat the living daylights out of you.
Scared me anyways. Okay, it got me thinking of some classic, and I was looking up in these kind of top 10 type lists of scary movies. And so we're obviously not scary movie advocates.
Nope.
But there is...
I don't mind... I'm going to just correct you on this. I don't mind jump scare movies. Like, that's just like startling, like surprise.
If it's a regular thing, but not like some slasher flick or...
I don't even mind that. It's when it gets it's when it gets spiritual.
Oh,
I can't handle
Dawn of the Living Dead.
Talk to the boy. I can't do anything that has an element of spirituality in a scary way. And I will say this too, and then I'm gonna let you finish.
Thanks, Kanye.
I'm gonna let you finish. But this was just brought to my attention that horror movies is the last genre that you can be spiritual, and I don't know about typically, but quite often, Christianity or the pastor, the priest, the prayer, the holy water does actually win. Like, it's no other genre does Christianity get elevated as being the superpower except in horror.
Yeah, there's a reality that's terrifying.
Yeah.
That stuff messes me up. Okay, so let's see if you can all talk around these things.
Talk around.
And just
talk around.
So we won't have to
tuck up, or get down.
Just be just a half a dozen, and let's see if you can name them. I'll just kind of do a vague description.
What am I naming? Movies?
Yeah.
Scary movies.
It's a writer at an inn.
Yep. Sledgehammer to the leg. Misery.
Okay.
No.
That
The
was
Shining.
I was going with The Shining, but Misery is kind of in there. That's a good one. Okay. I was going to go into The Maze, and that would have been a definite giveaway. Or Here's Johnny. Okay, this is and so that was on one of the number one horror movies of all time, which I don't know, whatever.
See, even
I
in
guess
that movie,
it's so subjective.
Him being crazy,
Yeah.
wasn't scary to me. The two twin girls at the end of the hallway, that's the scary stuff to me.
That does it. Okay, I'll just do green pea soup.
The Exorcist.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Just that phrase just will get you. Linda Blair, head spinning around.
That that was a legitimate contortionist.
Yes. Well, there's those girls who do it like a competitive. There's a dance type. It's like it's not dancing, but part of their routine is like a contortion thing.
Yeah,
What
dance
Is it like
contortionation.
That's a different one. Yeah. What was it, like acro or egg?
I don't know.
Or something. Anyways, and when you've seen these girls in competition, I've seen them at like dance competitions from my daughter, and it's like that's unnatural.
Right. Yeah.
So okay.
Need a chiropractor.
Okay, this one, motel.
Just motel.
Just the word motel.
Oh, Psycho.
Psycho. Wow, you're getting it down to one word.
I was
Wow.
like, motel.
You were dialed in. Okay, October 31. Easy.
Halloween.
Okay.
Friday the 13th.
Joining friends for a meal and you get indigestion.
Really? Mm-hmm. Joining friends for a meal and you get indigestion. Mm-hmm. Don't know.
The indigestion is overwhelms your stomach.
I would imagine.
And this happens.
Yeah, that's a classic thing. I thought that was like Alien or something.
It is Alien.
Oh,
it's Alien.
Is that considered a horror?
Yes, Ridley Scott.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so in that vein, whether it's scary or
what year would you say Alien came out?
I don't know.
I think you'd be surprised.
I'm gonna go 90s.
You get the next one.
Okay,
I'll
start on the next
one. I feel
one.
like I'm incorrect here.
Okay. Fishing. Classic horror movie.
Jaws. Okay.
Yes.
That's considered
okay.
horror.
The legitimate children.
The original Alien movie came out in 1979.
70s?
Isn't that weird?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I had that in my... I was going to say 69. I'm like, that sounds too old.
Okay.
79.
Okay, last couple here. I'll do this. Okay, The Legitimate Children. See if you can pick up here. Starling.
Mm-hmm. Birds.
Okay.
Hitchcock Birds.
Buffalo Bill.
Oh, what does Starling have to do with it? I almost said Clarice.
That's her name.
Yeah. Oh, her name is Clarice Starling?
Yes.
Oh, so it's in the back of my Rolodex in my brain because I almost said Silence of the Lambs.
You connected it
but I didn't
immediately.
know why.
Yeah, because her name's Clarice Starling.
Wow.
Fly away now, little Starling.
That's all it took for that. That was in my head.
That's wild, eh? Okay, Handycam.
Oh, The Blair Witch Project.
Yes. Okay, that's what I have for you. Illegitimate Children, how did you do out there? For those of you, so you don't even have to. I haven't actually seen a number of these films, but they're just such cultural references that you know what's going on.
As you're going through those, I'm like, have I seen every one of these top horror? I wouldn't categorize some of them as horrors, but I don't think I've seen The Exorcist. But I think I've seen the rest.
Scaring the living daylights out of you, maybe more so. Scariest. Yeah. So but I completely agree. All those like Dawn of the Dead and where people that there's a spiritual context and there's some well under a house and this was on a burial
people
ground
living under the stairs.
No, thank you. I'm good.
Yeah.
All of that.
That's
stuff.
probably why I haven't seen The Exorcist and I've seen a lot of the others.
I can't even go near a storm drain anymore. Because of that stupid It commercial.
See, I've never seen that.
I haven't seen it either. It doesn't matter. It.
I haven't seen it either. No. Which? You haven't seen what?
It. Who's on first? Who's in the storm drain? No. Who's in the cellar?
Who's in the cellar?
Who's in the cellar?
Cellar.
Yeah. So, anyways, those are.
I guess no choice here.
I said some words.
Let's go to the origins.
Where'd they go? No one can
That's really
know.
loud.
I turned around and looked behind.
That's gonna be a
Words
problem
came
later.
from another mind. Origins.
Alrighty. Well, we do know this. This idiom, to scare the living daylights, or to beat, or to worry, or to blank the living daylights out of him, is a proudly American origin story.
Apple pie.
Like apple pie.
And homicidal maniacs.
Most likely not even that old, late 19th century, but it's because it's a variant of other earlier expressions. So, and I'll tell you what I mean. When we refer to someone having the living daylights beaten, scared, knocked out of them, we just mean that they've been, I said extremely before, extremely beaten or extremely scared or badly knocked out. More specifically, knocked unconscious, which is what you said earlier. So the imagery is someone that being so overcome that they've lost the power of sight. So there are other variations of this, like you might say you could beat the stuffing out of someone, which is, it's just meant to be a very exaggerated. So the original 18th century meaning of daylights, let's just look at that one word, was quite specific and literal, and actually, just like we say, it meant eyes. Your daylights was your eyes. So that goes back to early 18th century, where through poem, song, and literature, you could refer to someone's eyes as their daylights. So that was already in use. So we don't say that anymore. I don't think that's really used a whole lot at all by anyone, but the word was occasionally used to do with other items that had to do with seeing. So spectacles or windows, or sorry, these are other words that had to do with your sight. So think of like have you ever heard of
like if you didn't have your sight, like if you're blind and you go skydiving, for example,
right,
doesn't terrify you.
Well,
however,
you just can't have your daylights knocked out of you.
No, but it really freaks out your dog. And that's why you don't see visually disabled people skydiving.
That's great. That's actually great. But the usage of daylights was limited to your eyes, and so to threaten to or threats to close them by force would be to dim or not take out your daylights. So the earliest known instance of daylights used in the sense of this is from the flash dialogue between Moll King and Old Gentleman Harry, as it appeared in the life and character of Moll King, late mistress of King's Coffee House in Covent Garden, who departed this life at her country house at Hampstead. So here we go. This was published about 15 years earlier in a lost pamphlet, which confuses me, because if it's a lost pamphlet, how are we able to read this? But I'm still going to quote what I discovered. The humors of the flashy boys at Moll King's. Excuse me. And this I believe, what's that British slang? What's it called? The extreme slang, like
Cockney?
Is it just called Cockney slang? I thought there was a different word for it, but like give you a call on the dog bone. Do you know what I'm talking about right now?
No.
I think it's just Cockney slang, where it's a rhyming slang.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll have to decipher.
Like dog bone.
Give me a call on the dog bone. Mm-hmm. Harry, I'll derrick my blood if I tout my mort. I'll tip her a snitch about the peeps and Nassus. I shall see my jolly old codger by the tinny side, I suppose with his daylights dim and his trotters shivering under him. This was part of the cant that okay, blah, 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 blah. So most of that was not understandable. Harry, I'll derrick my blood. So in the same book, there's a key to this flash dialogue, which contains some explanation. So derrick meant to go away. So when he says, Harry, I'll derrick, it's Harry, I'll go away. To tout the mort is to find out the woman. I don't know what the connection is there, but to find out the woman. So Harry, I'll derrick my blood if I tout my mort is Harry, I'm going to go away and find the woman. The next part says snitch about the peeps and Nassus. I kind of figured this one out. Snitch about the peeps is what's funny is the key says it's a fillip on the nose and eyes. So eyes being peeps, Nasous, Nassus being nose. Fillip means to flick. So even in their description of what this means, they threw in another slang. So snitch about the peeps and Nassus to flick your nose and eyes. Old codger is an old man. Tinny is a fire. And daylights means eyes. Trotters means legs. So a lot of old English slang in there, but first time that it's talking about a forced... No, not even forced. I suppose with his daylights dim. In other words, this guy must have poor eyesight. So that's an example of daylights referring to eyes, not about forcefully dimming their daylights, but this gave rise to the phrase to darken someone's daylights, giving which meant to give somebody black eyes. If you darkened their daylights.
Interesting.
You gave them black eyes.
Darkened their daylights.
You knocked them senseless. So that was recorded in London in 1752 by English novelist Henry Fielding in Amelia. And it goes like this. Good woman, I don't used to be so treated. If the lady says such another word to me, cuss me, I will darken her daylights. So he's talking about beating a woman to give her black eyes. So
he's got issues.
So yeah, so it then progressed. A short while after that, it was less about darkening her daylights or that kind of thing. It was less about giving someone black eyes. It was about taking their sight away.
Wow.
Meaning, not to pluck their eyeballs out, but you've knocked them out. You've punched them so hard, you've knocked their daylights out.
Like their eyes rolling around on the ground.
To darken their daylights, so the guy whose daylights were dim, he just had poor eyesight. To darken her daylights was to give her black eyes. To knock the living daylights out was mean you're unconscious.
Wow.
So you could be scared unconscious, you could be beaten unconscious, you could be worried unconscious, I suppose, but it meant to be unconscious. The current use is to be unconscious, not to be
interesting.
Have black eyes.
See, that is educational.
Yeah, it was more informative than I expected.
That's a good one. I like it. It was it wrapped in a number of idioms, I think.
A number of idioms, or just fill in blank for blanking the living daylights.
Yeah, but that it like meaning your alertness, your awakeness, your
right,
whatever's going on inside you, that spark.
Nobody's ever said to me, "You have beautiful daylights."
No.
Anyway,
there's still time. And talking about things, so it's not just scared.
No,
you need daylights on anyone.
I mean, if you've lost your daylights, you've lost your sight. But you can lose your sight because you're unconscious. There's nothing wrong with your vision.
What if you lose your daylights in November, on November 5th?
Then you save them?
It's daylight savings time.
So you can get beaten on that day.
Yes, and retain your daylights. Makes sense.
Or you just go back an hour to before you got beat.
You've probably heard of one of the irrational things about clowns scaring people. I just think it's funny. Why clowns of all fun things?
Were you not making a pun right there?
No.
There's like, some people are scared by clowns. I just think it's funny.
No.
I thought that was your joke.
No, it's not. It's just of all things, you hear people terrified by clowns.
Yeah, but you just think they're funny.
It is funny.
This one came from Monty Python. Let's just throw this in there before we move on.
Sure.
This is a good one.
Beating the living daylights out of a little schoolgirl.
Beating the living daylights out of a little schoolgirl. That's perfect.
Okay, how come we just do clown cars and not like clown boat? A clown boat. Clown boat pulls up to a dock.
And the doc says, a gang of clowns on a boat. What was your gang? What was your genre of gang jokes? I can't remember. We kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, it's just this. It's always a car. The clowns always come out of a car.
That's all you need.
No, but I'm just like, why is it like not a clown van or a clown?
Because it's got to be the smaller the better. So it could be a canoe, maybe.
Clown canoe.
Just alliteration.
Insane clown canoe posse. Yeah, clown canoe. They just keep getting out.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But they have to be hidden, so canoe doesn't work. Like a car, there's something about a closed door, and you can't tell how many are getting. So
okay, like a sidecar of a motorcycle or something.
But you can still see how many are in there. It's got to be.
If they just keep popping.
It's got to be enclosed, like a tugboat, maybe. If you want it to be aquatic,
a little tugboat.
A little tugboat.
A canoe.
Clown.
No. What are those kayaks? Like, because they're covered.
They just keep popping out of the hole.
I guess when you practice that and it goes wrong, it goes really wrong. Dead clowns.
Maybe that's why.
That would be scary. Well, anyways, we should get
if you
into
can fit that many clowns in a car. Imagine how many clowns can fit in a bus.
This is like a physics project. We should get Neil deGrasse Tyson on this.
25 clowns in a Volkswagen Beetle. How many clowns can fit in a school bus?
At least 40.
The answer is none more black.
I don't know what that means.
That's for a select few people out there.
Okay.
Dang
will get that?
Dang will get that one.
Okay, good. At least somebody gets it. Well, we should head into the Riddlinks before...
Riddlinks? Riddling is a game we like to play. It takes a two-part trivia-based question, requires a two-part overlapping answer. Whew, that was loud. Overlapping by sound, syllables, word, or words. So, for example... Last week, just a mere 7 days ago, we left you with rain on your parade was our idiom. And we left you with this one. To precipitously ruin someone's enjoyment with Indiana Jones. To precipitously ruin someone's enjoyment with Indiana Jones. You know that one?
Nope.
Rain on my parade.
Parade.
Indiana Jones. Really?
Harrison Ford. Indy.
You're literally saying the word raid.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm so sad now.
I'm like, are you messing with me right now?
I was actually thinking about how you were sad about, like, Chuck Norris. What does Chuck Norris have anything to do with it? Like, because I said Chuck Norris earlier.
It's been a week. Let it go.
When Chuck Norris's parents get scared, they sleep in his bed. I don't know. I got nothing. Okay, so so I've got a couple prepared.
Yeah, me too. I've actually. Oh, I should say, I've got. If we want, I've got 4 sitting here.
Oh,
because out of the blue, Beetlebat sent. What's your idiom du jour? Can I send you some riddling?
Yes, he can.
So we've got a couple from him.
Okay,
a couple from me.
Well, I'll just get mine out of the way, and then we can do some straight.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Wild West stagecoach robber outlaw is 007. Wild West stagecoach robber is 007.
Okay.
Wild West stagecoach robber.
I am going to say Jesse James Bond.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this. Did you go with James? We didn't talk about this, but there is a James Bond movie called Living Daylights. Is that why you brought that in?
Yes, that's what was
we never actually. I had it in my notes and I never brought it up.
Timothy Dalton.
Yeah.
Yeah, as James Bond.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Living Daylights.
And
I was actually thinking, of course, you will use this for a clip.
Yeah, I didn't, but because the only clip comes from the song.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'll end with the song.
Okay.
It was Aha doing a song called
really?
Living Daylights. Yeah.
Take on Me?
No,
Okay.
Living Daylights.
Oh, okay.
It's called Living Daylights.
All right. Well, I'll do another one here, and then you can go do 4 straight.
Okay.
Whoa, my soul left my body when the clock went ahead 1 hour in November.
Scared the Living Daylight savings.
There you go.
That was great. Okay, well, let me give
My
you...
soul left my body.
I'll do the same thing you did. I'll give you... let's see. Okay, I've got 1 from me and 3 from Beetlebat. So
He's adding them all the time. Let's go.
Let's do Beetlebats, and
Okay.
I'll leave mine hanging out there.
Sure.
So his first one. You scared this out of a movie director's first 3 words. You scared this out of a movie director's first 3 words.
You scared this. The Living Daylights camera action.
That's it.
Oh.
Nicely done.
Oh, I was lost there.
The wheels were spinning
I was
there.
lost. Legitimate Children beat me on that one for sure.
Okay, let me give you another one.
Okay. Good one.
Wow, this one's hard. I had to Google this. Let's see if you can get it. This John Carpenter movie with sunglasses that show the truth will scare this out of you. This John Carpenter movie with sunglasses that show the truth will scare this out of you.
Sunglasses that show the truth.
I didn't know the title of this movie, I'll be honest.
Is it a Nicolas Cage movie?
No.
Okay.
I looked up the cast. You're going to enjoy this. I looked up the cast, and the only name I recognized in the cast,
Sure.
Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, John Carpenter does classic
Yeah, I know.
horror. I can't think of you got me stumped on this. Tell me
So-
one more time. The Legitimate Children.
Okay. This John Carpenter movie with sunglasses that show the truth will scare this out of you.
Dead by Daylight.
No. So, do you want to hear the other one, and then we'll decide which one we leave hanging out there?
Sure.
Okay. The last one is this. Oh, no. There's still more. The Other Reindeer's Old-Timey Slang for Eyes. The Other Reindeer's Old-Timey Slang for Eyes. This is from Beetlebat.
Well, Olive is the other reindeer.
Yeah.
A slangy term for eyes?
Yeah.
I'll live.
What's our idiom?
Oh, all living daylights?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
short and sweet.
Okay. I'll live the other reindeer.
Okay, here's the one I had.
Okay.
I think you'll get this. Maybe we'll leave the John Carpenter one for everybody out there.
Sure.
The one I had put together was this. To earn enough to survive, having this beaten out of you. To earn enough to survive, having this beaten out of you.
I'm going to go with earn a living daylights.
Yep, we would have accepted. Well, I said earn in my clue, so I was hoping for make a living, but
Okay.
same thing. Make a living daylights. So that means we're left with the John Carpenter movie.
Tell us again.
This John Carpenter movie with sunglasses that show the truth will scare this out of you.
That's going to bug me now. The Legitimate Children, we would love to hear from you on that one. Drop us a message on Instagram at the.village.idiom or email us thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com, or whether it's the Facebooks, the YouTubes, or the Twitters at 3 Minutes Gone.
And you know what that was?
That's 3 Minutes Gone.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
it was.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, it was fun. Hopefully you didn't get you have good dreams tonight. don't even think about clowns with red balloons in your storm drain. Don't even think about that. Get that right out of your head. I'm Skinny.
I'm Jurassic Mark.
And these are the Village Idioms.
The Living Daylights.
That's 3 minutes gone.